After more than 50 years, humans have returned to the moon. But this time, they didn't land. They traveled over 250,000 miles away from Earth, into deep space. Not to explore, but to answer one critical question. Can humans survive beyond Earth for the long future? On April 1st, 2026, NASA launched Artemis II, the first crewed mission toward the moon since the Apollo era ended in 1972. 4 astronauts, 1 spacecraft, and a journey that pushed humans farther than most have ever gone. But this mission was never about landing. It was about testing everything that could go wrong before humans returned to the moon and eventually traveled to Mars. After the Apollo missions, humans simply stopped going to the moon, not because it was impossible, but because it was expensive, risky, and priorities shifted back to Earth. For decades, space missions stayed close to Earth: low Earth orbit, satellites, and the International Space Station. Deep space remained untouched, until now. With Artemis, the goal is no longer just visiting the moon. It is to build a long-term human presence, and go even further, to Mars. Artemis II is a crewed test mission. It carries astronauts aboard the Orion spacecraft, launched by the most powerful rocket ever built by NASA, the Space Launch System. The mission lasts around 10 days. It takes the crew around the moon and brings them safely back to Earth. But the real purpose is not the journey. It is validation. Every system, from life support to navigation, is being tested in real deep space conditions. Because if even one system fails, future missions could be fatal. Deep space is very different from Earth orbit. On Earth, we are protected by the planet's magnetic field. But once you go beyond it, you are exposed to space radiation. This radiation can damage cells, affect the brain, and increase long-term health risks. That's why Artemis II is critical. It helps scientists study how the human body reacts and how spacecraft can protect astronauts in future missions. During the mission, astronauts are monitored constantly. Sensors track heart rate, stress levels, exposure to radiation. This data helps scientists understand how the human body behaves in deep space. This is not guesswork. It is real data that will decide how long humans can safely travel in space. Artemis is not a one-time mission. NASA plans to build something much bigger, a long-term base on the moon, known as the Artemis Base Camp, and a space station orbiting the moon called Gateway. These will allow astronauts to stay longer, conduct research, prepare for deeper missions. The moon becomes a testing ground for living beyond Earth. Why not go directly to Mars? Because Mars is far more dangerous. The moon is closer, safer, and easier to test systems. If we can survive on the moon, we can prepare for Mars. That's why Artemis is not just about returning. It's about preparing humanity for interplanetary life.
But NASA is not alone in this journey.
India, through ISRO, is planning future moon missions. China is working on its own long-term lunar base. And Europe, through European Space Agency, is developing deep space technologies. This is a global race to build the future in space. The most dangerous part of the mission is not space. It's coming back. When the spacecraft re-enters Earth's atmosphere, it travels at nearly 25,000 miles per hour. The heat is extreme. If the heat shield fails, there is no second chance. Artemis II proves one thing clearly. Humans can go far beyond Earth again. Systems worked. Astronauts survived. And NASA now has the data needed to take the next step. The next mission is Artemis III, planned to land humans on the moon again, possibly between 2027 and 2028. But this depends on testing, technology, and readiness. Beyond that, NASA aims to build a permanent presence on the moon, and eventually send humans to Mars. Artemis II has successfully tested human deep space travel, But future missions, like moon bases and Mars exploration, are still in development. Timelines may change, because in space, nothing is guaranteed. This mission is not just about science. It's about the future of humanity. If we succeed, we become a species that can live beyond Earth. If we fail, we remain limited to one planet. So the real question is, are we ready to leave Earth behind? Subscribe for real stories that reveal the truth behind space, survival, and human limits. Because this journey has just begun.